All right. I'm just gonna run it down. I'm just talking. I'm sitting back watching everything, how everything going down. And of course, who am I? I'm not even political, but this is political commentary. And I'm paying attention to how people talking on the street and how they talking in the news or wherever you want to find your information. And what I'm finding is a lot of people just don't have a clue, especially people that I know. Of course, I'm black, so I know a lot of black people. We just don't have a clue. But if you look real close and you pay real close attention, then maybe you get a little bit of insight as to what you really need to pay attention to. Okay, I'm going to start with Donald Trump. What's up with this guy? I was invited to a speech that he gave in 2013 at the National Press Club. And I was listening to him. I was like, wow, stuff he's saying to get him killed. If he'll say that type of stuff and run for president, he'll win. Lo and behold, last year, 2015, 2 years later, he ran for president. I wasn't paying too much attention, but I heard a lot about what he was saying and what was going on. I was like, wow, this dude really going in. I said, he lunching because he's saying stuff that's like, wow, that's like way out there. But it made me pay attention to the news because like most people in the black community, we just don't really look at the news. At least we don't look at world news. We look at local. Back to Donald Trump. He lunching. He said a whole lot of crazy things. But the things he's saying resonated. He made a whole lot of sense to a whole lot of people. And a whole lot of what he was saying was what a lot of people was talking about off the record. You talk about it with your friends. It's like a white man calling black people niggas and he'll never say it in public. Yeah, it's a whole lot of y'all out there call us niggas. Because a whole lot of us call y'all crackers and hunkies and all that old kind of stuff. I've said it. I'm not racist. I love everybody. But I use terminology like that from time to time. Makes me a racist? Well, I'm sure you'll say it. Another thing. Donald Trump. Politically correct. Political correctness is the worst thing. I'm going to give you an example. It's like in D.C., we call people Bammers. Well, because a person has a different style or because a person doesn't fit into our mold or the mode of, a Washingtonian or somebody who is from the Washington, D.C. area or listen to different kind of music, he's a Bammer. So what that has done, it has retarded, restricted, restrained a lot of people here in the Washington, D.C. area from reaching the pinnacle of their character, the pinnacle of their aspirations. It just made them say, man, I ain't doing that because I'll be labeled a Bama. So a lot of progress that could have been made haven't been made because you're afraid of being labeled. Well, it's the same thing with political correctness. Political correctness makes a person don't really call out what the problem is. What's the problem? Well, the problem is this or that. But if you say this or that, then you're a racist, you're a homophobe, you're whatever. And I know when they use the term left, it's in the context of something that I don't agree with. So I understand the left to be something that is out there. That's like not normal, but something that they want to make normal. And I understand the right to be something when they talk about stuff, a whole lot of stuff that I do agree with, being as though I'm a religious guy. I believe in God. And many things that they talk about on the left side is, or as they put in the context of the left, is not in agreement with what I've come to understand, God's expectations of mankind. So Donald Trump speaks out against a lot of that stuff. A lot of it, he maintains his composure. I understand, as I've been now paying attention, once upon a time, he was in favor of stuff that was going on the left. But it's like me. I was a criminal once upon a time. I was a criminal. I ain't a criminal no more. I don't feel as though I want to take anything from anybody that if it doesn't belong to me. I don't feel as though I want to sell any drugs or distribute anything. I don't feel as though I want to defile my body, so I be careful about what I eat. It's a whole lot of things that have changed against me. I went to prison. And in that period of time that I was in prison, I had the opportunity to fix my thinking, to fix my inclinations, to fix my behavior. So I fixed my behavior. So I've changed. And I think Donald Trump has changed from what he once was. And now a lot of the issues that he talked about, I'm in agreement with. Every time I go into a store, it's somebody that owns the store that is not American. Am I upset with that? No, I'm not upset with that, but I feel as though we as Americans, mainly black Americans, I can't speak for everybody else, because I look around at everybody else getting money, everybody else getting loans, everybody else getting more loans to buy houses, they building their business, they doing everything. As a matter of fact, people that are not even from America got reparations for the bad things that American government recognized that they did to their people. But black people here in America have never gotten reparations, I guess because they said, well, we're just going to get them welfare. Well, okay, when I look at that, welfare keeps us down and lazy. Anytime you're giving somebody food and shelter with no end in sight, you can believe that there ain't no end in sight on their laziness, because they good. Now, if they were smart, like when I was locked up, I went to jail and I told my mom, I told my daughter, I told my sister, I told everybody, I said, don't worry about me. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go to college, basically. So I used the time that I was in prison for college or for education, for advancement, self-advancement. What people was doing, and even more so now, Spanish people make it so bad, it ain't just the Spanish people, it's the illegal Spanish people that's here in the country. It's feeding off of the system. They're like, man, I ain't got to sit over here broke and having babies with nothing and hungry. I can go over into America and do the same thing, then I ain't got to worry about it. And then maybe my kids, they feel like it, they can go advance themselves. But I'm going to get over there and I'm going to have some babies and I'm going to proliferate and, do my thing over there. And then I'm going to be stuck over there because my baby's stuck over there because they were born there. But see, at the end of the day, what that turns into is an unfair imbalance of power, because now you got people that don't care nothing about America here voting for American, rules, laws, or whatever the case may be. I got hope in what salvation God gave me, and I believe all of this stuff is going to go down the drain very soon. That's why I don't get into the political aspect. But I couldn't stay quiet because I just keep listening to these people on this news just making up these lies. It burns me up. Donald Trump. He's speaking what the people feel. Now let's talk about Hillary Clinton. Again, I don't like none of them. I don't like, but I do like Donald Trump. I always like Donald Trump because I used to go to his casinos. As a politician, I don't like him. I don't like him because he's saying some stupid stuff out his mouth. If he would just stick to the, what makes sense, then maybe I'd like him. But I don't like him as a politician. But as a man, I like him. Is he keeping it real? Yeah, he's keeping it rickety raw. Is he lying about some stuff? And I think he's inaccurate about some stuff. Inaccurate and lying could be construed as the same thing, but in all actuality, it's not, because it depends. If I'm in the street trying to take your head off, then that's assault. But if I'm in a boxing ring trying to take your head off, well, I'm handling my business. That's a craft. That's an art. And that's what Donald Trump is doing. He is venturing into the political arena. Politics is all lies. It's nothing but lies and perception. So it's all about making the perception a certain way. So could it be considered lies if that's what you're doing? No, not if it ain't an outright lie. If you're taking something that could be true and making it seem to be true, that's not an outright lie. But if you're taking an outright lie, something that you know is absolutely false, and you're saying it as a fact, now that's lying. So what Donald Trump is doing is masterful. He's taking what it could be and making it appear, or for the person who perceived it to be what it is. Now it's left up to the person to do their own investigation to determine whether or not this is what the case is or that's not what the case is. And that's what he's really, really good at doing. My hat off to him. Now, Hillary Clinton, on the other hand, she's just an outright lie. She just be cold-blooded lying. Okay, she say that she was meeting, or she just bumped into, or her husband bumped. First of all, she said what her husband was doing and what Loretta Lynch was doing was nothing but a simple conversation. How she know what they was doing? How she know what was said? How she know anything? She's stating this as a fact. Now that's just a lie because she don't know. Now if she said I don't believe this or that or this, that, and the other, then I could go along with what she's saying. But she's saying they weren't talking about nothing but this, that, and the other, and blah 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 blah. That's a lie because she don't know, and she's stating it as if it's a fact. Now she lying, man. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you what I think. I ain't trying to be surrounded by somebody that's gonna kill me next door. If you ain't got no business here, in other words, you ain't legitimately here, I ain't what you been here. Get them out of here. Get that shot out of here. For two reasons. One, because you don't care nothing about nobody. You just here for ulterior motive, and that's a selfish reason. It may be just to hurt somebody. So we don't know who you are and what you up to. It's a dangerous world we live in. So be careful. Be careful who you let in. Now I'm with them on everybody who's saying vet these people. Yeah, vet them. Know who they are. Okay, but the point is, all these illegal people coming over here getting jobs, and then they sending the money back home. So that's less money here in circulation for people that live here to actually spend money with people that work here. You see what I'm saying? So you come here illegally, you make money, then you send that money back to wherever you from. Now, hey, listen, that's not a bad move. That's a really good move because that's what I would do. But that's my main point. If somebody's here illegally doing that, they don't need to be here anyway. They shouldn't have been here in the first place. I got a friend that I went to high school with, got caught selling drugs. I mean, he had 2 grams of cocaine. He got deported from the country to Trinidad, and he ain't been back since 1989. He been out of this country since 1989. They refused to let him back in. But you got all these people coming over here, killing people, leaving, coming back, leaving, coming back, leaving. And they, what the hell? Oh, but my man, because he looked like me, he talked like me, he got deported. He can't come back in here for 2 grams of cocaine since 1989. I don't know what's going on. Okay, all this, I look around at all these factories, man. And, I ride Amtrak up and down. You ride Amtrak up and down the East Coast now, you see all these closed factories when you ride through Camden and, Trenton, New Jersey and all them places, man, all through Philly and all that. Man, it's a bunch of closed factories. You're like, man, what these joints closed for? All of these trade agreements. Okay, look at China. Why you think Walmart products so cheap? Walmart products so cheap because when the products come into the country, they ain't charging no tax. But when our products that's made here go to China, it's a tax. So something that's like wholesale worth $2, they gonna put $5 to $6 tax on it. Now they gotta sell it for $15. But that same product coming to this country, they're selling it for $6. How can we compete? So that's why the trade is an imbalance. And then they make it hard for a corporation that's here to keep its factory open for all the different reasons that it's hard. So what do? They go to China, Mexico, wherever they go, Malaysia, or wherever, Taiwan. Ain't nothing made here in the United States. The turn of the century in 1900, 1910 and all that, everything was made here. We shipped out to the world. Now we don't ship out to nowhere. Everything come here. You see? So it reduces jobs, but the population growing, but the number of jobs available is shrinking. And then all of us in the black community, we vying for the same job. What's them jobs? We trying to get into entertainment, sports, and all that nonsense. There's 10,000 jobs over there where you can really make a living to support your family. But you got 1 million people fighting for the same job. It's nonsense. But that's enough for me, man. End of the day, man, both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump need to get it together. But if I was to vote for anywhere, I'd vote for Donald Trump because he is talking about what I believe in. Hillary Clinton, she made $141 million in the past 7 years.